Hey, everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, May the 22nd, 2023, and it's a day of a lot of exuberant energies. We had a new moon on the 19th. Mercury is now direct, getting faster, helping our minds be sharper and quicker. So this Monday, the 22nd, there's a lot of dynamic motivational energy. The reason is that the sun is going to be in harmony with assertive, outgoing Mars. Sun Mars can be aggressive, athletic, highly energized, while at the same time, transiting Mars is going to be pushing up against expansive Jupiter. So there's a lot of this enthusiasm and motivation to really jumpstart the new week. On Tuesday, the moon is in Cancer. Cancer can be more nourishing, domestic, caring. But the moon will be in harmony with innovative Uranus from around 11 a.m. Pacific time, just past noon. That moon to Uranus can help you get out of any boring routine, shake things up, and it can bring some emotional surprises and excitement. Wednesday, the moon will be void of course from 2:12 a.m. Pacific time until 7:35 a.m. Pacific time, at which point the moon goes into dynamic, outgoing Leo. Again, when the moon is void of course, it's changing signs, it's not making any more aspects, so the energy is flat and unproductive, and you just don't want to start any important new projects. Now, when the moon goes into Leo, it's stirring all this more fiery, dynamic, outgoing energies, but around noon, the moon will cross Mars. When the motional moon crosses Mars, it can trigger a lot of impatience, irritability, but also a lot of courage and dynamic energies. And this is around noon to 1 p.m. Pacific time. But then a couple of hours later, the moon's in harmony with the sun, which brings in a lot of comfortable energy. So if that moon Mars triggered any upset, it would be worked out within a couple of hours, or any kind of exciting new energies, starting new projects, you would be feeling like it's moving in a good direction. On Thursday, the moon continues in extroverted, playful Leo. The last half of the day, Pacific time, the pleasure-seeking, relational Venus will be in harmony with eclectic, innovative Uranus. Now, Venus-Uranus is very favorable for making new friendships, getting involved with group activities, can be very creative energy, but thinking out of the box, or being more interested in more unconventional art. And certainly with love affairs, that Venus-Uranus can sometimes trigger an unexpected infatuation. On Friday, the moon, well, actually, let's start with late Thursday before midnight Pacific time, around 11:38 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, the moon in Leo goes void of course. It's going to remain void of course through Friday until 8:05 p.m. Pacific time. So for most of you around the world, Friday is almost an entire moon void of course day. When that moon is void of course, you just got to stick to your routine, Don't introduce any kind of new projects, new ideas. It's very favorable for resting, for reflecting, and as I said, staying the course, and you'll be fine. Saturday, the moon is now in analytical, critical, but hardworking Virgo. But mid-morning Pacific time, mid-morning till noon, the moon will be in a stressful angle with restricted Saturn, with the sun. There might be some real hitting a wall with authority figures. You may just be feeling really tired or frustrated. This too shall pass, because in the early evening, 7, 8, 9 p.m. Pacific time, that emotional moon in Virgo will be in harmony with Mercury, communication Mercury. So it's a Saturday evening. This is some very favorable energies for conversations, for being mentally stimulated, maybe by, a movie, the theater, or even reading a good book. On Sunday, the 28th, the moon continues in analytical Virgo. Around noon, it's going to be in harmony with eclectic, innovative Uranus, which is really very favorable energy for trying something new. But the sun all day is going to be in a stressful angle to Saturn. Now, if you don't have any major projects you're working on, then you could be feeling tired or blocked. But if you have a project and the moon's in Virgo, and Virgo is very work-oriented, then the sun, Saturn, that is slow and steady, you can accomplish a great deal. But you may be really tired. You may even be very worried. But if you focus your attention on accomplishing a major goal, it's going to be so much more productive rather than just feeling like you're hitting a wall. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.